We've heard previously that a second wave of infection would cost the economy around $25 billion. Mathias Cormann, the Finance Minister, even went as far today as suggesting that might be $80 billion over 2 years. In fact, you can even see what's happened to Wall Street overnight with their crash and the subsequent flow-on effects to the ASX today. The Prime Minister obviously has called for those who attend the rally to be charged by police. Now we can go as far as a Liberal backbencher, Andrew Laming, only a few moments ago, calling for those who attend the protests to actually surrender their welfare payments. Let's have a quick listen.
Well, I'm asking that Australians just reflect on the fact that we're paying COVID and health-related payments to get through a crisis, but here we have rallies where people are blatantly ignoring clear and unambiguous advice. I'm challenging those protesters who are doing that to hand back those payments in advance. You can't simply collect from the taxpayer with one hand and risk infecting them with the other.
Now, Annalise, it's certainly hard to see this happening. The Labor Party would have an absolute field day if it was to come to fruition. Nonetheless, Mathias Cormann, the Finance Minister, was asked about it this morning. This was his response.
But what if it's found that some of these protesters who are, ignoring these rules are on job seeker? Should they lose that entitlement?
Well, look, that is a conversation that would be worthwhile having. But right now, it's up to the states. It's up to the states to impose the rules that they inflict on everybody else.
Questions around welfare, I'll leave for the Finance Minister and the relevant ministers. But in particular, the health message was re-emphasised only yesterday. We saw a case of an infection in the midst of a mass gathering. An infection in a mass gathering could lead to a mass outbreak.
It might seem like a nice idea, Annalise, but this is right in the hitting wheel of the Labor Party. This was their response.
I think it's unfortunate that that is being said, and it's only going to cause more division in the community. And as I said earlier, Annalise, what we need our political leaders to do, in particular the Prime Minister, is pick up the phone and talk to First Nations people, talk to First Nations media, engage with them and actually see what you can do to find a common path through what is obviously a very serious situation.
And Jonathan, National Cabinets met this morning. Is there any sense of what's been agreed upon?
Not just yet, Annalise. We were expecting it to conclude around 11 o'clock, but a quick phone call a few minutes ago and I'm told that it is still running. Top of the list of items to be discussed was reopening the borders. Obviously, we heard from Tom Tate, the Gold Coast Mayor, a few minutes back. He's desperate to see that border between Queensland and New South Wales open, allow those tourists from the far north coast of New South Wales to push up, especially the tourists keen to escape the cold winter in New South Wales to head up to Queensland. Important for their economy. They're also talking about rules for indoor gatherings and exactly the rules surrounding the airlines when they begin to reopen and start to funnel those tourists back up north. Needless to say, Peter Dutton also weighed in. He's obviously from Queensland himself. I should say it's an easy opportunity here for him to kick Anastasia Palaszczuk, the Queensland Premier, and talk about the need for the Queensland state government to be doing more, especially considering they're coming up to an election.
This was never a recommendation of the Chief Medical Officers. It was never a recommendation to close the borders, and at the moment I think Premier Palaszczuk is playing politics with this issue in the run-up to the election in October. She needs to stop it and start acting in the interests of Queenslanders, because we're in a difficult situation where people are losing their businesses.
It's been a very busy Friday morning on a very rare Friday sitting day.